What's going on, beautiful people? Welcome back to another episode of Respect the Game podcast. My name is Edward, named after a trilogy, that being my pops. Shout out to my mother and my grandmother for helping raise me too. Please make sure you start what you're doing and go follow at Emcstats for all your up-to-date high school, pro, and collegiate sports coverage. We'll not disappoint. We'll keep you up to date on all that's going on in the beautiful sports world. Have a great episode ahead for you. We at full strength. All the brothers in the building. Brothers, introduce yourself to the beautiful people.
Shine Hard is a big brother Iron Man tapping in. Shine Hard Surgical Pigs. That's on Twitter. Coming very soon to an Instagram page and channel near you. Let's get into it.
Yo, it is the host with the most that blows the most smoke, Black Peace, Rap Blood, Hip Hop Plug. Be sure to go check me out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere you get your dope podcast from. That is Talking Smoke with the talking emoji and the smoke emoji. Let's go.
Good afternoon, beautiful people. Good morning, good evening, depending on where you are in the world. I am the one and only Sedacious Xavier Miles. You can go follow me, at I am Sedacious, Instagram, Twitter, and that's it. Let's get this old rocking.
Yes, indeed, man. Good news for a lot of those, I would say around the world, but I know specifically those mostly connected to her in the basketball world. Brittany Griner was, I don't know, exchanged. She was exchanged, but she is now back on American soil. She was exchanged for Victor Bout, a military savant, if you will. Some like to call him the merchant of death for Russia. He was serving a 25-year prison sentence here in America. We can call him a manufacturer of guns. I don't know the correct terminology for all that encompasses arms dealer.
Firearms dealer.
Yeah, firearms dealer. Thank you. Yes, he was exchanged. He was exchanged in place, or not in place, exchanged with Brittany Griner. Brittany Griner is now on American soil. Victor Bout, he is now back in Russia. Um, it's a great situation, obviously, for Brittany Griner, but mind you, you have other American citizens who have been there longer than her. Other American citizens who are in the military or government branch serving for America. But nonetheless, Brittany Griner is home. She does not have to fulfill that 9-year sentence that she was given in Russia. How do we? How have y'all taken the news thus far?
I don't think y'all want to hear what I gotta say, because what I gotta say is an unpopular opinion.
Well, I think that's why the people tune in to hear that.
I'm sorry, my boy Sean Hart was speaking. I'm sorry to cut you off, brother. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I mean, my first initial reaction is she's a Houstonian, um, and quite literally right after that, an American. Or before that, whatever your pecking order is. So I was just happy that she was able to, come home finally after, almost being, away for a year. But some would, want to argue the fact that who she got traded for wasn't worth it. But um, I riddle you this, and I'll let Javier Miles have the floor. Um, when I first heard that um, none people of color were outraged at the fact that a fellow military American was imprisoned over in Russia as well. It was currently serving or had been there for over 4 years, I believe, due to a completely separate crime, and one could definitely consider it more heinous and more egregious of his crime. But and people asked and banged on the table, well, why wasn't the Marine and the veteran let go in exchange? Um, why did we have to? Brittany Griner wasn't first priority and things of that nature. It's like that Marine, and I don't want to misquote him because his name does escape me, but his family actually came out and made a statement about his crimes and how they were pleased with the fact that Brittany Griner was able to come home. So to the people that are on that train and on that bandwagon, to you, I say that fellow Marine sadly was penalized and sentenced for espionage, crimes against his country. So quite literally, he betrayed his country and tried to go behind the nation's back and do some things that were unbecoming of someone, especially of his status as a veteran. And then not only that, he was willing to do that for a fee. Um, and one can say treason and espionage is probably one of the higher crimes that you can commit being a military veteran. So with that being said, um, you know, got to give credit. I know obviously we probably exchanged probably in a metaphorical sense the Grinch for Hitler in regards to where both were on the totem pole of bad or their crimes. But I'm just happy BG home. And I'm actually happy that the real BG of Hot Boys is coming home as well. Separate subject, but same names still applicable. But that's it, man. I don't have too much crap to throw at Brittany, man. She been through enough already for a vape cartridge. Literally.
I feel like this sends the wrong message. Well, I feel two ways. She's out from behind bars. Thank the Lord for His grace and mercy, for her being able to have the stature that she has, to be able to pull the strings, and be able to pay for the lawyers and the advocates for her to still be fighting for her to now be free. Thank the Lord for that. I understand that, you know what I'm saying? I'm not taking away from that. But this does send the wrong message. You know what I mean? And like, I haven't seen Brittany Griner in jail in America. I just seen her come back to America and just be free on some ish. So, because when he go to Russia, he going to jail. She came home and it's just like, so that right there to me, I feel like sends the wrong message. But hey, it is what it is. She's BG, and it's not her fault that she is who she is and that she has the pull that she has. And thank God for that favor, because she's now home. Because if I'm an American and I'm in a Russian jail and let's say I had 2 grams of weed, you know what I'm saying? Like, now I'm hurting that she went home and I'm still sitting here serving the rest of my sentence. But hey, it is what it is. They ain't fair. But yeah, that's all I got to say.
It is true. Favor is not fair.
I mean, first and foremost, I want to give a shout out to my cousin, Catherine Johnson, who's actually related to Brittany Griner on her mother's side. And she's been screaming out free BG till BG actually got free. But honestly, man, at least in my opinion, I feel that this was America's freedom being tested to a certain extent, and I feel like a lot of people that I've been around have been saying like this gives a lot of leverage to a lot of other countries to that we value our freedom at a high level to where it's going to work against us, and it kind of did. They got an arms dealer back, and we got a free public figure back, and yeah, man, it just it's an up and down situation, but at the same time though, it's I just feel like us as Americans to take their laws a little more stricter, not only just out of respect, but just, hey man, you get in trouble, dude, you may be on your own. Not everybody's Brittany Griner. So like you said, favor ain't always fair.
So this is, believe it or not, it's common. So we're talking about this 12-year-old kid, this grown man, I'm gonna call him a grown man, who appears to be 12 on social media, playing in a 12U National Football Championship in Florida, right? This is common. We've been seeing this a lot. I forget the kid's name, but he's like a freshman and he's 6'4", 280.
and got a mustache and a goatee
on the line, and I'm just like, who is breeding y'all at this point in time? So tell me if y'all could hear this via phone. I don't know if it'll sound as clear.
And at his defense, I did know somebody that in the third grade they did have pretty much a full blown mustache.
Yeah.
I have witnessed that, and he had sideburns too. I was just amazed. I was like, wow,
Yeah. Hold
this
on,
nigga a man already.
Tell me if y'all can hear this.
Follow me. Yes, sir. Hey, man. I don't know. Yeah, I record. How old you is? Boy, this boy 12. Follow me. Yes, sir. Hey, man. I don't know. Yeah, I record. How old you is? Boy, this boy 12.
So, I hope y'all can hear it. If not, I'll insert it. Yeah, this kid looks like he's every bit of maybe like 16, and he's saying he's 12 years old. Full blown mustache. He got tattoos. Also, to his defense, I know Florida's different, right? Just in terms of like the culture and like kids having goals in their mouth, and even like overall in society today, like kids having tattoos. I'm gonna go out on a limb right now and say he ain't 12, right? Let's just say he's not 12. Let's say this is one of those classic situations where the parents are holding a kid back for a year so he could be a man amongst boys playing sports and being able to stand out, hoping that he could get a scholarship once he finally in the 12th grade. And you know what I'm saying, kids like to reclassify in high school to try to get themselves a better chance at being recruited, so to speak. If that's the case, and he really ain't 12, he like 14 playing against 12 years old or 15 playing against 12-year-olds, it's not going to work out in the end. And in terms of like his success athletically, and the reason I say that is because a lot of parents do that not thinking about the long game, right? And so what happens is you try to hold your kid back so they could be 2-3 years older playing up against other kids who aren't fully developed athletically. And then it's going to come a breaking point when said make believe 12-year-old has to like go to college, and because his skills didn't really develop going up against tougher competition or competition that was really at his age level, and you had him playing up against all these underage kids, they're going to get found out. And so if that's the case, or if there's anybody out there thinking like that or trying to strategize like that, just know in the end, like that said kid is going to hit a wall and they're going to have to come face to face like with real true talent. But that's my take on it. But definitely have to like dig into it deeper, or see what maybe comes out down the pipeline down the road that may prove the dude is actually 12. But then I'm gonna just say right now, dude ain't 12, man. Dude ain't 12. Dude ain't 12, man.
I think he is 12, and I think he was actually number 12, if I'm not mistaken, or a number.
Nah, he's like 20 something.
20, it might, yeah, whatever. 12 like Brady.
And that nigga look 30, bro.
I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I'm just of sound mind and sound belief that, you know, these new animals that they have was eating that's genetically modified and that has been cloned. Yeah, he's probably eating a clone chicken or a clone pig. If you don't know, you can go look it up. I just think he's a product of that in regards to hyperstarting hormones and things of that nature. Because like I said, I have been privy to see. Again, I remember this vividly. I don't remember dude last name, but his name was Henry. Light skinned dude, third grade, went to Lynch Elementary School. Henry, if you listening somewhere, know you got a full, you got a full beard, and I know it, and it connects. You know what I'm saying? I know that for a fact because he had a full mustache and sideburns in the third grade, and it's just a vivid memory in my mind. So it's
Henry,
like,
if you listening, please reach out in the comments. If you listening, Henry,
it happens, man. People hit that hit that stride and that growth and that development a little earlier. And 12 isn't just like an unrealistic age to kind of see that. Because, like I said, I saw the mustache in 3rd grade. So if you telling me dude got a mustache at 12, I can believe it. I can believe it. I can believe it.
Like a grown boy.
Man Child.
probably hit the shit.
And I remember Man Child off Snowfall, Man Child.
NFL grown boy.
Man boy.
Man boy.
Nah, that's NFL grown boy right there.
Yeah, man.
NFL old boy.
I wouldn't be surprised if that 12-year-old.
Now you catching it.
Oh my god. Dude, this nigga.
It was lame, but it was a dad joke type lame, so it was funny.
Yeah, they did look extra fake.
The mustache and the goatee definitely looks real. But he got the voice of a legit 12-year-old though. It looked like he could be turning 13 in a few months. I wouldn't believe, that wouldn't be hard pressed to believe that he's about to turn 13. Like I say, some dudes just.
It looked like he was in the slums too. It looked like he played for the hood.
Matter of fact, hey, shout out to my dog, man, Justin Berryman. Prime example. 8th grade. How old are you in 8th grade? 13, 14 maybe. Somewhere around there, like probably not even that old. Probably like 12 or 13, something like that. 13, 14, somewhere in that range. My dog. Full mustache, full goatee, even back then in 8th grade. Well, he was in 8th grade, but I was in 7th grade. So I know people that's like that. They just they genetics just blessed for full beard and all that young.
Yeah, nah, it might be his genetics. Yeah, man. If you really 12, forgive us. What do we know? Nah, man. Crossing over into the NFL, T.Y. Hilton. T.Y. Hilton was signed by the Cowboys. This is coming off last week when you see Odell Beckham Jr. torn with the Dallas Cowboys, with Diggs, Trayvon Diggs, and Michael Parsons. They kicking it. He's going on his NFL visits to see which team he may be interested in. I feel like them signing T.Y. Hilton kind of rules out Odell going to the Dallas Cowboys. Sedacious, you're a Dallas Cowboys fan. What do you make of the T.Y. Hilton signing? How does Cowboy Nation feel about it?
I would agree that Odell, now that we have T.Y. I really don't know how to feel. I really got to see it first. I got to see the trial run. I got to see what Kellen Moore does to implement him. Because I'm still feeling a way about Dak Prescott for real. The fact that we didn't smack the sheesh out the Texans and we barely beat them says a lot about going up against the Eagles, right? Because that is the test to really know if this team can make it to the Super Bowl is the Eagles. We just got to get to Kansas City. But we have to beat the Eagles to get there, right? So, I don't know. I have to see how it looks first. I'm not going to just get excited, bro, because this team, for real, besides the defense, and the defense really can't stop the run for it. Besides the defense, like, they look, you know what I'm saying? They look all right.
And Pollard, besides the defense and Pollard.
Yeah. Tony Pollard is the bright light of the offense. You know what I'm saying? And CeeDee Lamb doing whatever it is that he can do whenever he can get open. But no, I'm not too excited simply because I'm not a typical Cowboy fan, bro. Seeing is believing for me. So we could have signed T.Y. Hilton and his bad chemistry, and now we was doing all right, and now it was going down and down and down. So you never know.
T.Y. Hilton been relevant in the last few years. I'll wait on that, but he ain't been relevant since Andrew Luck been on the Colts. If we being completely honest, but maybe he will regain some relevancy with that. I don't know where he been.
So his stats from 2021, T.Y. Hilton, he had in the 2021 season, his most relevant stats as last year. He had 23 receptions for 331 yards and 3 touchdowns.
And he
That's
played for
all.
the Colts.
Yeah, he played for the Colts. He played for the Colts.
Well,
I
that's
bet
not
he
his
had a
fault. He had
touchdown
to
against
start.
the
He
Texans
has.
too.
To
That's the
start
worst
quarterback.
part.
Oh, I know it's against the Texans because he
That's the
always
worst
still the
part.
Texans. He literally had his best games of his career against the Texans. I don't think he's been a 1,000-yard receiver in the last several years, to be quite honest.
I feel like he
I
still
don't
can be
remember
an
his last.
asset though. It's just, can Dak get him the ball accurately and on time?
Well, I have Dak as my fantasy quarterback in a money league, so I'm I'm willing to believe, and hopefully he can. We definitely gonna see because
Hey,
life
man.
life threw me a bag of lemons, and I know this is a segue into our next topic, but my boy Lameezy got hurt, but it's all right though. Like my boy E said, the waiver wires has been working wonders for all WPWers, by the way.
Man, nah, the
Waiver wire working wonders. That's
hey, waiver wire working wonders. I think me personally, the reason I think I have been able to make my late push and make the playoffs is really because of Isaac, because I got tired of like every week since the start of fantasy, like he would come in like ranting and raving about like the blissfulness of what he picked up in the waivers. I'll just be like, bro, like he can't be the only one in the waivers. Like, what am I doing, bro? And the second I started
let
going,
somebody go.
yeah,
I'm on it.
the second I start combing through the waivers, let's just start racking up wins here and there, here and there, here and there. Hiccup here. Okay, let's see what he doing here. See what he doing. And yeah, man, the waivers have like got boys in the playoffs. Even so much so to the fact where it's like next year, like obviously your draft is important, but like
Draft is very important.
I'm praying on those. I'm praying on those emotional people who like get players and let them go the first 2 to 3 weeks. Like I'm praying on those people next season.
I don't know who this finger is pointed at right now, but one of you niggas let go Devontae Smith, and I was right there to.
Darnell.
Oh, that's you.
It was you.
Yeah, well, if it was a money league, I definitely let him go.
Bro, but
if it was a money league, I definitely let him go. I wasn't worried about it. I was dead already.
Is he inconsistent? You just never know when it's gonna be his day. You just never know.
That's why, bro. That's why I let him go. I was really hoping he would give up. I had like 2-3 weeks, and I was like, I'm done, bro. I'm already out the playoffs.
I appreciate that, then. It throw me a little lifeline, because though he is not a starter on my team, he is not good enough to crack the starters yet. He is a viable backup. Very viable backup.
Yeah, man. The waivers have been lovely, and I cracked the code. And I cracked the code on defense too. I cracked the code on defense for next year. So like, yes, Lord, I can't wait for next year. And it's up if boys fuck around and let me win the championship. All right.
I ain't gonna lie to you, bro.
Hey,
I know you had a good run, but
no, don't count me out, because here's something to consider. Here's something to consider.
Plan B.
Here's something to consider.
You talking about don't count you out? You out.
Well, you should count me out, right?
That's what I'm saying.
No, you out. Nah, okay. It's gonna be a good. Well, I'm a little nervous because Tua is starting to tour. He is starting to tour.
And they play the Bills.
He is starting to tour. Oh my God, he is starting to tour at the most unopportune time, Lord.
But he is forcing it to Tyreek, and that makes me happy in my other league.
Yeah, man. So now we'll see, man. We'll see. NFL playoff picture, man. Funny thing, last year I thought that it was like my first year doing fantasy, and I really thought I had the entirety of like the whole season. I like make the playoffs. Shows you how wet behind the ears I was, but nonetheless, so to start it off, The Eagles, NFC East, Sedacious. That's your territory. Eagles, they clinched a playoff berth. And then after that, in the hunt, the Eagles are the number one seed for the NFC. And then at number two, you got the Vikings. Number three, you got the 49ers. And don't know how they're doing it, but they're still holding on. Considerably a weak division. The Bucks are at number four in the NFC South. Then you got the Cowboys at the fifth spot with 10-3. Then you got the Commanders at 7-5-1. Then you got the Giants at 7-5-1 as well.
Hey, the G-Men not up there? They battling it out down there.
Yeah, they 7-5-1. That was a brutal loss. That was a horrendous loss that the Eagles put on them.
Speaking of horrendous loss, the Rockets just beat the freaking sleeves off the sorry, good for nothing, front running,
Fakers.
fakers, Suns. And you know what pains me to say? And I know we pivoting, but
somebody ain't that guy. Somebody ain't who you thought they was.
Bro, and I'm gonna just go ahead and say it, bro. And this is exactly what I thought. Bro. Yes, Chris Paul will probably go down as a top 5 point guard of all time. But can we say that this guy has an innate problem when at the finish line of anywhere he's at in a season on just not sealing the deal, whether you being up 3-0 on that Spurs team that you end up losing, or that you end up barely beating in the first round, and then you end up losing to the Rockets after you go up 3-0 on them, and then you go up 2-0 on the Bucks in the finals, and you proceed to lose 4 games. We up on the Warriors in the conference finals in Houston. You go down because your hamstring is shattered and torn and battered and beaten and bruised and worn and just all over the place. And you decide to go vegan after that. I'm letting out some frustration right now too over some old stuff, but Chris Paul, he at that age, man. I think he's been in the league a extremely long time, and he's been very productive in the league. But his time has came and gone, man. I think Phoenix knows that they definitely overpaid for him, but they were able to get a couple good years out of him. They were able to make it to the finals, and their window is gone, man. Their window is gone.
Their window is gone, and for Phoenix, I think everything you could have hoped for, you got. Y'all just didn't finish. And we don't even have to take that away from. We don't even have to put that on Chris Paul. Like, he did his job in like helping guide the troops there. Like, all right, D-Book, it's time for you to kill. Aiden, you're supposed to be like, you want this contract franchise, like it's time for y'all to like go. You know what I'm saying?
25-12, we need it every game.
Every game, like not
like
maybe
literally every game, not
every
maybe.
game.
We need it every game.
But no, that's not popular opinion. I don't know how soon it will surface. A surface at all across people's feeds, but DeMarcus Cousins, he was just on the Out of Pocket podcast, real good podcast. He was just on the Out of Pocket podcast, and he was just like, "Hey, bro, I ain't trying to be rude. I ain't trying to be mean. I ain't trying to like talk down on nobody, but I'm just trying to like be real because I love basketball and like I don't understand these conversations." He said it out of his mouth. Why is Chris Paul a top 5 point guard? I'll wait. He said that himself. He was just like, I don't get, like, he don't have no MVPs, he don't have no championships, and we just was to like put him over all these premier point guards who do have championships, who do have accolades, who do have MVPs. Like,
are we talking about right now, or are we talking about all time?
All time. He was talking about all time.
Well, if we gonna make that argument, and I'm just going off what DeMarcus Cousins said, like,
that's weird.
John Stockton don't have any championships, and John Stockton damn sure ain't got no MVP.
But John Stockton would be top 5 either.
What?
Point guards?
John Stockton ain't no top 5 point guard all time.
So who
All
you
time?
gonna put him over?
Yeah, you got a lot of point guards, brother. A lot of them.
He's a
Hold
top,
on,
like,
if we
positional
go
point guard, but not
like
top
I'm talking about
actual point guard.
prototypical floor general pass first point guard. Get not
See,
a basketball
that
player masquerading as a point, but you really a 2 or you really a 3 or a 4.
right, because so that's where it gets like milky and muddy, because in that same conversation it was just like, oh well, like what about AI? And it's just like, nah, AI wasn't no real one
AI,
guard.
Yeah, true too.
he didn't win
You
no
know,
real
true,
you
one.
know what I'm saying?
AI
It's
is
like
a true 2.
two, right?
True
Exactly.
2.
So it's like masquerading as like a one, but it's like, yo,
Now they put him at the point,
but yeah, but it's like, yo, that's Eric.
but
That's
he
Eric
ain't no
Snow.
point.
Eric Snow
That's
sitting
Eric
there.
Snow job.
You
Yeah,
know what
Eric,
I'm saying?
thank
So
you.
it's just like, if you go now, if you want to categorize point guards, okay, who's the best all-time scoring point guard, right? Then there's a category for that. Who's your best top 5 floor general point guards? Then there's your category for that. But if you like,
No!
but if you strip
Top
everything, it's
5,
just
period. Top 5,
that's
period.
what I'm saying. If
Magic
You don't make
Isaiah.
top 5 period at
A lot
all.
of a lot
You
of
don't.
people are gonna
Magic
have Chris Paul
Isaiah is my first
in
two.
they top 5, bro. Like
No,
just
he's not.
floor general point guard.
Magic Isaiah is in my top 2. And I'm sure I can go Magic and Isaiah. Top
and
2.
then and Steph is automatic. He's like grandfather in that top
There we go,
5.
there we go.
For sure. Nah, most definitely
Steph is
gotta be top
grandfather
5.
than anybody's top 5 who like not even loves basketball, just know
Right. He
basketball
just
a
got
little
to sit
bit.
at
Nah,
5. He don't even have to finish on 1. He got to sit at 5 at least.
Yeah, he's just grandfathered in there. That's like around
5 at least.
yeah, 5 at
5 at
minimum.
least.
Like 5 at the least. So that's
At the worst. Yeah, at the worst.
at the worst.
But I like your point about John Stockton, because if John Stockton is here, my man, Chris Paul.
Bro, he leads the league in assists by a long shot. And I don't really think that record is really gonna be touched, to be honest. Unless Brian decided to pull a Brady and play till he's 45, he may have a shot at it then. But honestly, that how far his assists are compared to the closest next person is like
It's like
actually
50 assists.
insane. It's like
Yeah.
unreal. It's not 50 assists. It's way more than 50. But it's just unreal, like the gap that he has between the next closest person. But man, DeMarcus Cousins making a Patrick Beverly point, like he's a cone. But I'm not gonna disrespect Chris Paul, because young Chris Paul will give you 45 and 13 comfortably. Like I'm not gonna.
Well, I mean, there was a time in his career where he was
Hornets
supposed to
Chris
go
Paul
get a
was-
He's talking about
championship.
floor general all time. You got to think
Hornets
about
Chris
Jake
Paul was different.
There was a
Bro.
time in his career he was supposed to go win a couple of championships with Kobe Bryant, Paul Gasol. The league said no, y'all not gonna terrorize the league like that.
So
David
Rejected that
Stearns,
trade.
more specifically, rest his soul, said no, and I wish he hadn't, because Kobe Bryant would live. And you know why they did that? David Stern, and this is me being a conspiracy guy. I'm big on conspiracy, so I think deep down, not even deep down, immediately David Stern knew, oh my God,
Yeah,
this is gonna be a threat to whose legacy? Michael Jordan's legacy. We are shutting that down. You think you're gonna go over here and get the prototypical point guard that you've always needed in your career to elevate you and be, man, you crazy. You gotta think about it. Chris Paul, and the reason I'm gonna put Chris Paul top 5 point guard, you gotta think about it, bro. As much as we love Steph, and Steph is the greatest shooter ever, bro, Steph Curry ain't never made an all defensive team not 1 year in his career ever. Well, Chris Paul would strap up on defense, bro. You wasn't bullying Chris Paul. Not back in the grip, not no young Chris Paul, bro. He's made all defensive team multiple times in his career, multiple times steal leader. Like these are just the facts. Like he was a well-rounded 6-foot point guard. Like let's call a spade a spade. So like for my money, off that alone, I would put him top 5, but he's had some of the more epic meltdowns in NBA history in regards to winning and being in a position to win. whether that be with the Clippers, the Rockets, and just recently Phoenix. At all his stops, seemingly, he's wet the bed.
I'm gonna say
I
this.
feel like he's doing that with being one of the top 5 quarterbacks. I think he's doing that right now, being one of the top point guards with his career. Right now, he's wetting the bed on his legacy by just continue to play and just continue to lose. Like he never won nothing. That's what I mean. If he won something, it'd be different. But he's never
sound
won
like
nothing.
you talking about Tony Romo.
Well, I'll say this.
Real
Chris
quick,
Paul is way more individually accomplished than Tony Romo is in his career. So let's get that out of the way. And he played longer, more longevity.
Wait, what's way more accomplished?
Oh Lord.
Like way more individual accolades than Tony Romo has as a quarterback.
We gotta research that.
There's nothing to research, bro. Tony Romo doesn't have an MVP.
And then football is a physical sport. Basketball ain't. So you can last a little bit longer than basketball.
I mean, you brought up Tony Romo, not me. But that's
I mean, you said he's played longer, but that's because basketball is not a physical sport.
Again, I didn't bring up Tony Romo, so you telling me all this stuff.
All right, so check this out. So Chris Paul, well, we'll start with Stockton, just going back, diverging to Stockton. Stockton, all-time leader, 15,806 assists. Chris Paul is 4,706 assists behind him. Why did I say all the numbers to make it confusing? I don't know, forgive me. But John Stockton is at 15,806 assists, and Chris Paul sits right at 11,100 assists. I don't think
at number 2 or number 3.
At number 3, Jason Kidd at 12,000 assists at number 2 all time.
2. Okay, yeah, and J Kidd is. Damn, I forgot about J Kidd.
Bro, I said that. I was just like, bro, like y'all talking about like floor general. Like I hear people talk about J Kidd dominating the game and not even scoring.
That's true, and he was a very good rebounding guard as well.
Like you're dominating this game and you're not scoring, J Kidd.
Like I forget about J Kidd, and J Kidd got a championship,
and he
Dallas.
went to go get one with Dirt. You know what I'm saying? Like
and he beat Bron.
Like
they
beat Bron.
You know what I'm saying? So like,
however you want to splice it, man. A win is a win.
Bron really beat himself because he choked.
J Kidd is up there at 1,010%.
Well, there you go. That's the 5 right there. Magic, Isaiah,
Curry. That's just you can just
you know what? I don't know if Chris Paul getting that 5.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Because like, think about it, right?
He top 10 for sure.
How do you want to like? Because like, how are you going to categorize? How are you going to categorize?
Nah, he top 10 for
Kyrie. Is we gonna say I put him over there with the 2s in that AI bracket or that Gilbert Arenas bracket, or like do we keep him?
I do consider
Gilbert Arenas. Oh no, he was a 2.
I do consider Kyrie like a combo guard, bro. Like he's definitely 1 and 2. It just depended on the lineup that day, on what he was gonna be running at. But he's probably noted down as an actual point guard. That's his position, but he's definitely not a pass first point guard. He is about a bucket, which I'm completely okay.
We got because
if you can make up for the assists and get other people open with a 40 ball, I'll take it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's no debate at all about Chris Paul being top 10.
Yeah, that's no
but
debate.
He's definitely better at his job. He's definitely better at his job than Tony Romo was at his football job. Maybe not his announcing career, but his football job for sure.
All right, so top 10. I still think that's debatable. I still think he squeezes maybe 10.
I don't think there's 10 other point guards in NBA history that's better than Chris Paul. That's just my opinion, bro. Being a floor general, being a scorer, like I said, having a holistic all-around game, especially defensively as well. When you look up Chris Paul accolades, bro, the man is accomplished. Multiple-time All-Star, right? Multiple first-team All-NBAs. You know, he made the 75, the anniversary team. And then, like you said, he's 3rd all-time in assists.
So I'm gonna be.
Is Dame a point guard?
Yeah,
Dame
Dame is
is a point
definitely
guard.
a point guard. He's a true point. He's a true point.
He is. He's a scoring. He's a score first point guard. He's definitely not looking to pass. Now, as of recently, he's become a better passer, and especially this year, I think this may be one of his highest assist averaging years ever.
And that's come with, I want to
Having a
say,
holistic and a better team around him, having people to pass the ball to.
So is Chris Paul better than Gary Payton?
would I take CP over GP?
Yeah.
Would I take CP over GP?
I'll take CP.
I'll take CP
Yeah.
over.
That
I'll take
aspect.
CP over Gary. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I would.
He has offensive
We're
aspect.
talking Miami, Gary
Payton's
Payton, or we're
offense.
talking about Seattle?
We talking
any
about
Gary
GP
Payton.
in his prime.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
talking
any
about
Gary
Chris Paul in his prime, Gary Payton in his prime.
Oh, sheesh. That's tough.
Offensive, I mean,
Not
I
gonna
don't
lie
see
to
too
you,
much
Chris-
of him bringing to the offensive
That's
table.
tough.
Defense,
Somebody
he got
get
locked
locked
down.
up.
Bro, Chris Paul in his prime getting buckets over really anybody, bro. And I seen that up close, bro. My dad took me to a Hornets game, bro, and I got to see it up close. I didn't even think the nigga had 20 and 10 just watching the game. Even
The
as a
flow
young kid,
is
I'm
just,
like, ain't no way. I'm thinking about it, and then I seen the stats at the end of the game. I'm like, bro, how this nigga end up with like 24 and 12? I didn't even see it. Like, it was just so natural.
it's in the flow. It's
in the flow of the game.
And just out of respect, I know people try to, look at him different to say he's not a winner, but just out of respect, it's not a conversation. It's not a true conversation if like Russ isn't even like mentioned.
Honestly, it's a lot of people I forget. So yeah,
Bro,
you definitely
top 10
point
is
guard is
hard.
probably the most diverse position in regards to categories on a basketball court because you have so many different type of point guards, right? You got your pass first, floor general, get the teammates in
Chauncey
position
Billups?
and in the right spot. No, love Chauncey, but no.
Russell reserve. I give him a reserve on the
That's a
team.
lot.
I gotta
point
put
guards.
Westbrook
A lot
top
of
10,
great
bro.
point guards, bro.
Okay, so look, top 5.
Was Penny Hardaway a point guard or 2?
Definitely a 2. Did he play the 1? Yes, but he's the true
Combo,
2.
that's where it get
Combo guard. That's where it get iffy at. That's where it get iffy at, bro, because it's like these guys who are combo guards.
Because here's this, like, and this may not
is James Harden a point guard? No.
Right, and here's this. We may not try to put it in like that top 5 ilk, but like Steve Nash, like was Steve Nash not one of the most premier floor generals like we've ever seen?
I'm so pissed off that they let this man win 2 MVPs, bro.
Yes, but yeah, true indeed.
While Kobe was literally had the league in a headlock. He literally stole an MVP from Kobe that year.
Yeah, man. Sedacious just went off. I hope his phone didn't die because I want to read off these accolades between Chris Paul and Tony Romo.
We will wait on that. We will wait on that. Because this dude think Tony Romo is the best shit since iced cubes and sliced bread.
You know what type of time he been. This is my quarterback. My quarterback. The end. All right, now Sedacious is supposed to come back on, so we're gonna act like we didn't even do this. We're gonna act like we didn't do this, okay? So we're just gonna act normal.
Act natural is over.
Yeah. We waiting on you, Dacious.
Whenever you ready, nigga.
I'm ready.
Okay, all right. So yeah, we was about to.
Are you though?
We was about to do the accolades before you had logged off. All right, so we'll do Chris Paul's first. Chris Paul, 12-time All-Star, 6-time Steel Champ, All Rookie, his rookie year, 9-time All Defensive Team, NBA 75th Anniversary Team, 5-time not All-Star, 5-time Assist Champ, 11-time All NBA, 2005 Rookie of the Year, and 2012-2013 All-Star MVP. Those are all of Chris Paul's accolades. Now, Tony Romo's.
It's pretty polished and accomplished to me.
Tony Romo accomplishments. Here we go. 4-time Pro Bowl. That's it.
Okay, I'm sorry. What are we
What
doing again?
No, I know y'all was talking about the y'all was talking about the accomplishments
you know what we
compared to
doing,
Chris
bro.
Paul and Tony Romo.
Accomplishments up against Tony Romo's accomplishments in his field. Like I said,
Right,
definitive fact is proven. It's not cute. Let's not do that. Those are facts. Those are raw numbers that tell a story of the truth.
Mhm.
And the truth of the matter is, Chris Paul way better at his job than Tony Romo was at his. And I don't think that's a slight to Tony Romo. Like I said, at a time, it was a few years in the league where Tony Romo was considered, potentially maybe a top 5 quarterback, but no one ever saw Tony Romo as the best quarterback in the league. No year he was in the league, ever.
Right.
He's a good player, though.
So let me ask you this: what behooves you to?
Oh, hold on. I'm sorry. Oh no, keep going.
No. What is it? What you have to say? Go ahead.
Oh no, I was comparing Tony Romo's. I was comparing Tony Romo's accomplishments to Dak Prescott's.
Please do. Let's hear this.
So Tony Romo, obviously 4-time Pro Bowler. Dak Prescott, 2-time Pro Bowler, and the Offensive Rookie of the Year. Oh, and also he's the 2022 Nickelodeon Valuable Player.
Yeah, we're not gonna count Nickelodeon.
I just wanted to do that just for giggles. But I don't continue your rant, Sedacious, but at the end of it, I want to know from you if you think obviously TBD with however Dak Prescott's career continues to progress as a Cowboy, but if you think Tony Romo or Dak is better in whatever your rebuttal was about to be.
I actually don't have one. I actually passed the witness. I'm good.
So you don't have anything to say about the Chris Paul and Tony Romo thing. But would you agree that Chris Paul is better at his job than Tony Romo was at his?
That's something I wasn't as serious about as clearly you guys are. So no, I don't care.
We just want to make a point. We just want to make a point, bro.
Clearly, y'all did. Y'all made your point. Are we good now?
I just don't be no. I just be
I said
saying,
it was cute.
like,
I mean, are we still gonna harp on it or what's up?
No. We're not talking about it no more. But what I am talking about is just this cloak of invincibility that you like to place on Tony Romo. But I think it's a defense mechanism because as a Cowboys fan, you probably find yourself in conversation having to defend him a lot without much merit or much really ground to stand on to do it.
Not true.
But
Not true. I don't talk about Tony Romo at all, but with you guys.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, if you've ever had a random conversation or, you be talking to friends, family, or coworkers alike, and, I'm pretty sure that conversation has come up, maybe not every year or whatever the case, but it's come up a time in your life to where you've had to stand on that stand and defend Tony. But all I'm saying is, brother, to the Cowboys, he's a hero, which is fine. But to the rest of the world,
so my question is, so this is something I just said. I was just like, hey, we just sound like me talking about Tony Romo. It was actually a dig on me. And now we're here still in the episode talking about Chris Paul and Tony Romo. I'm trying to figure out why.
Okay, so your feelings is hurt. Okay. We can move on.
And then that happens. And then that happens. And all of a sudden I'm in my feelings because I just asked why.
Well, you did make the insertion that you would like to hear Chris Paul's accolades up to Tony Romo's. You did do that, and right before we was getting to that, you lost connection.
Yeah.
So that was prolonged as we waited for you to get on for us to do that. And once you got on, then we did that, and here we are.
Okay, so after this, I'll stand corrected once we do this episode and we watch it back, and I say out of my mouth that I requested to hear Chris Paul's accolades up against Tony Romo's accolades.
You definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh wait. I don't. Me personally, I don't think that that's something that I would want. But if that's the case, I will stand corrected once we get into that episode, and we'll see.
You definitely called for this shit.
And you know what? Now we
Now.
got more content because now the people watching is gonna be like, "Ooh, this is going to be good."
No, man. All right, so I'll say this. I'll say this real quick. We'll do this real quick and sign out. Kind of definitely steer in to a whole nother stratosphere. So playoff hunt NFL real quick. Eagles, they clinched their end, leading the NFC North. You got the Vikings. The NFC West, 49ers. NFC South is your Buccaneers. So teams still in the hunt or projected to possibly make it in. You got your Cowboys at 10-3. The Commanders at 7-5-1. Giants at 7-5-1. Out of the
Wow,
NFC,
Washington is 7-5-1. Huh.
right? Who would have thought it? Right?
They battling it out down there.
Yeah. So on the bubble, you got Seattle, you got the Lions, you got the Packers, you got the Panthers, you got the Falcons. I'm not gonna say that. I feel like no, okay. You got we're not supposed to count the Cardinals, nor the Saints, nor the Rams. All right.
Packers.
Who do y'all see possibly sneaking in that's on the bubble out? Seahawks, Lions, Packers. Seahawks, Lions, Packers. I don't
Packers.
think.
Packers is the only balanced. I'm sorry, the best balanced team. Behind them would be Seattle, but I don't think Seattle got enough.
I think Seattle has more than Green Bay because, in my opinion, Green Bay ain't got too much of shit. Their defense has been shot. They've lost Devondre Campbell, premier linebacker, I think third, fourth year player. They've been riddled with injuries in the secondary. And that defense has definitely underperformed since the start of the year due to the fact of and people, I mean, I don't know how close people follow the game, but just a little teachable moment here. When your offense struggles, it makes your defense worse. And what I mean by that is even if you have a great defense, but yet your offense can't put together drives and they can't sustain drives and put points on the board, it puts your defense at a not so advantageous position to where they're gassed because number one, y'all can't put a drive together on offense. And then number two, we can't sustain and put points on the board to where we're playing from either a league or we're always playing from behind. So we always have to play coverage. We can't send a blitz. We can't get after the quarterback how you can when you're playing from a league, which the Packers have not been privy and privileged enough to do this year. So it makes your defense work that much harder and they get that much more gas throughout a game. And I think that's more so kind of been the story of their season. But I definitely think the Seahawks are in a better position to potentially make the playoffs than the Packers. The Packers don't have anything on offense besides agent Aaron Rodgers, who's kind of showed his age a little bit this year. And then you have
emerging.
And then you have outstanding running backs in Aaron Jones and an up and coming running back in AJ Dillon, who I like. But
and Watson too. He's emerging. He's
and
coming.
Shout out to Christian Watson. He is emerging. He's had a couple of good games in the NFL, but
waiver wires.
But I wouldn't say he's made an impression enough to where he can be the vocal point of an offense at this point of what they need on offense. I just don't see the Packers make it anymore.
We didn't talk this. This is newsworthy. Kyler Murray out for the season. The Cardinals, they was already 4-9. Oh
yeah,
man.
I know he wanted to play Call of Duty.
My baby,
I know he wanted to play Call of Duty.
Shout out to baby for the Cardinal AirPod.
Because I told her it was the Texans 2.0 at the time. because we had a lot of Texas players going on. I'm like, you know what? You know, D Hop going over there. You know,
JJ didn't move through. Yeah.
See, that was a
like,
horrible
you
decision,
know,
by the way.
oh, him going to the car. I mean,
Just the fact that Kyler Murray played that game. I felt like it was a long stretch for them to try to make the playoffs, if they could make the playoffs. And I felt like that
so
hamstring
you
he
think
had
he
a
should have
couple
been
weeks
shut
ago.
down?
I feel like Colt McCoy wasn't a bad idea. You know, it wouldn't have been the worst thing on the face of the planet. He's sure he can play. He's played in the game early this year. Didn't really suck butt. I mean, he was decent. I mean, decent quarterback. You know, keep your $100 million man healthy for the future. You know, showing you care about his health. I just feel like it was very, very just a bad decision by the Cardinals, in my opinion, man. And even when he got injured, you kind of could see in his face like, I shouldn't have been out here. This wasn't worth it. This one game, we would have to win 4 straight games with an offense that's good, but is not quite great.
And hope for other teams to be losing. So you wasn't even fully controlling your own destiny.
And on top of that,
it wasn't worth it.
About to fire Cliff Kingsbury anyway, and then Kyler ain't gonna be able to step foot and sink and heel and nip and tug with the new coach that'll be hired in the offseason and stuff. So yeah, Cardinals thinking bigger picture. Do you shut him down? I probably shut him down after the hamstring and make sure he's completely healthy to where he don't even, you know, cause like you said, Darnell, like why are we forcing? What's the point? What really do we have to fight for? A bottom seed, wild card position, and us to hopefully make some no. You know what I mean? It's just too many Hail Marys, no pun intended, that have to go in order for that dream to kind of get off the ground. And I think the ship has sailed on them, man.
It's a young team too. Still technically, it's still technically a young team. It ain't like it was. Oh, this is the last hope. This is 3-4 year quarterback.
I think what they lacked was leadership from the top down, and that being from a coach who couldn't even produce a winning record with, you guessed it, Patrick Mahomes, even in college. So it's like, come on. Yeah, I see.
Yeah, man.
Enough is enough.
Yeah. Crossing over to the AFC. So nobody is statistically. Whoa. Yeah, nobody has statistically quote unquote clinched yet in the AFC. But top seeds, AFC East, you got the Bills. AFC West, you got the Chiefs. AFC North, you got the Ravens. AFC South, you got your Titans. Those teams in the wild card, you got your Bengals at 9-4, Dolphins at 8-5, and the Patriots at 7-6, which could potentially be their first playoff appearance since the end of the era for Tom Brady. No Bill Belichick will love that. But on the bubble, 7-6, you got your Chargers. Also 7-6, you got the Jets. 5-8, you got the Jaguars. 5-8, you got your Raiders. At 5-8, also you got the Browns. 5-8, you got the Steelers. And 4-8-1, you got the Colts. Moment of silence, real quick, for the 3 teams that have been eliminated out of playoff contention. Okay, and those teams that are eliminated are unfortunately Houston Texans, the Chicago Bears, and the Denver Broncos. And the Texans are in the running for number 1 draft pick. I hope they do something smart with it. I really hope they do something smart with that pick and not draft some defensive.
And not draft Mario Williams.
Wow. I think it's a foregone conclusion the Bills gonna make the playoffs. The Chiefs are gonna make the playoffs.
But looking back at that, Mario Williams was the best choice out of the top 3 people that went top 3. Because I think it was Reggie Bush, then Mario Williams, Reggie Bush, and then Vince Young. And Mario Williams actually did have the longer career out of all those guys, and the more successful. He made multiple time Pro Bowler.
Yeah.
Pro Bowls matter apparently.
Yeah, the Bills gonna make the playoffs. The Chiefs gonna make the playoffs. Again, you got the Ravens without a Lamar, and Huntley also went out with the concussion. I believe that was this past Sunday. They're right at 9-4. The Titans are leading the AFC South at 7-6. Right behind them, that's gonna be good because you also got the Jaguars who are at 7-6. I'm lying. The Titans are at 7-6, but the Jaguars are at 5-8. So that could shake out a different type of way these last 3 or 4 games of the season. Jets 7-6. Who do y'all see anybody outside between the Chargers, Jets, Jags, Raiders, Browns, and I guess the Steelers? Do y'all see any of these teams possibly sneaking into the wild card? And Chargers at 7-6.
Yep, I think it's
only thing I say about the Chargers, they have a lot of names on defense, and they also dealing with a lot of injuries. I don't think they can stop anybody. They can put up points, but they can't get a critical stop when needed. They've proven that time and time again. That defense will give up points, and I believe that alone, you need that in the playoffs, especially trying to fight for a wild card spot. You're gonna be on the road every game. That's the one thing, or one of the things that travel, come playoff time is
defense.
Running game and a defense. Right? You can take it anywhere, but you ain't got that defense. Can't really run the ball like that. You're not giving the ball to Austin Eckler 20 to 25 times. At least not handing it off. He may get those 20 to 25 touches via the passing game as well, but Chargers too one-dimensional on offense and can't stop nobody on defense. Yeah, the offense can be hit or miss sometimes, and it can be a little appealing. It can look sexy one week, and then the other week you're looking like, what y'all doing?
Mm-hmm.
But inconsistent at best.
Who do y'all think will get their first round bye and win out on top of the AFC out of the Chiefs and the Bills, who both sit at 10-3?
Chiefs, and Patrick Mahomes is Josh Allen's dad, his stepdad, for lack of a better word, because he owned them every time they play in the playoffs. I ain't told you one lie. That the boy Pat turned into something different when them playoffs come.
Yes,
you know that. I know that. We seen it, especially.
Yeah, Josh Allen know that.
Josh Allen seen it firsthand. We seen it firsthand. Too many times.
Bills real quick remaining schedule.
I think it might be psychological at this point as well, because you can't tell me the Bills ain't thinking about that, bro. These folks done sent you home twice.
You know,
they do it.
All roads to the Super Bowl. All roads to the Super Bowl go through the Chiefs.
Arrowhead.
It goes through Arrowhead, bro. It goes through there. There's nowhere around it.
You can't. You gotta knock off the bully on the block, bro. You just have to. And the Chiefs is that. Excuse my language. I know we live in a sensitive ass society. The Chiefs are that fat kid on the block on top of the anthill with a magnifying glass, hoping the sun burn all the hood. Come on, man. They bullying dudes, man. We ought to have a graphic for that, but
I'm gonna have to try to cue that bug up.
That's what's happening, bro.
The Chiefs, so the Bills remaining schedule, both teams, Bills and the Chiefs, sit at 10-3. The Bills remaining schedule, the Dolphins, the Dolphins, the Bears, the Bengals, and the Patriots.
I think they go 3-1.
3-1. You think they give one up to the Bengals?
Not with Matt Patricia calling plays. He's been horrid. I've seen Mac Jones wave him off multiple times in the game.
No, we don't want you.
Shut up. We tried this shit already. That ain't working.
The Chiefs remaining schedule, which I think we can agree is a lot more easier than the Bills. They got the Texans. Then they have the Seahawks. Then they have Denver. And then they have the Raiders. So they have a favorable.
The divisional opponents could be.
It could be worth a challenge though. Divisional opponents for sure. That's fair. That's respectable.
They always, beat each other up in divisional play, but the type of dominance they just asserted over the Broncos and the Broncos being eliminated from playoff contention. I'm not even sure if Russell even finished the season out, man. I don't even know how they go into the offseason. They have to do something different. Because Russell Wilson didn't look like Russell Wilson at all this year. And this is the first year he's ever looked like that. He didn't even look like that his rookie year in Seattle.
And I don't even know. I don't even know if
is it though.
What you say, D?
You said Pete Carroll system, but is it though?
2 successful quarterbacks in his system.
No.
So
Gino,
far,
we're not gonna call Gino.
I mean,
Smith.
Gino, look at the whole. What you call it right
I'm
there?
saying though, bro.
It
like
looked like they
Wilson,
switched positions.
Russell Wilson
That's all
got.
I'm
saying he got like a championship, like
yes, like with Pete Carroll. Just it seemed like a reverse worse situation than
Legion
the
of
Tom
Boom,
Brady and Belichick. A
Okay,
worse situation, just in
fine.
reverse.
The Broncos ain't shit.
Sometimes it's like that.
We saw what Drew Lock did when he was like, bro, Jerry Jeudy obviously wasn't the answer. Cortland Sutton wasn't the answer. It's like, bro, because first off, we being completely honest, bro. Jerry Jeudy ain't all that, bro. He's gonna drop passes when you need him the most. And bro, Cortland Sutton isn't the most explosive receiver coming off a couple of serious injuries, early on in his career. I don't know exactly what we expect Russell Wilson to do with that, because at the time that defense was revered. No Von Miller, no Bradley Chubb anymore. Your secondary is questionable, aside from PS2. Shout out to Patrick Surtain second. But outside of that, you don't really have much. Like, we looking at them to be – in defense, they have been stout this year. I will say that. Defense has overperformed as a whole this year. And all I think they were looking for was, man, if Russell could be that spark we need on offense to at least score us a touchdown or two more, we'll win 60% more. You know what I mean? 60% more of our games from last year. But that didn't happen, man. And I think it has everything to do with the offensive play calling, the offensive line, and the skill position, bro. Because I don't think they address needs. I think they have a real need at receiver and on the O-line. Like, you can see it. Well, I know we like to put the blame on Russell Wilson because he's the lame or the simp. I got a lot of respect for Russell Wilson still getting on Twitter and giving God all glory and honor, even after a win or a loss. People may hate that. We live in a world that, they're going to hate you for any and everything. But to be hated for that, it's to be rejoiced over with the haters in heaven, because if they hate you due to our faith, then, hey, that's something you're just going to have to deal with. So I don't knock him for that, but he need help. Broncos don't want to hear that, but yeah, he need help, man. If Jerry Jeudy ain't the help, he not. I done seen it too much. He got dropped in our league too. I started to pick him up. I ain't gonna lie, I think I might have picked. Did I pick him up? I picked Jerry Jeudy up today. I think I did. I might drop him.
You should play him this week, bro. I think he'll have a good game.
That nigga won't ever sniff the starting lineup.
Nah, man. Beautiful people, man. We're gonna get out of here, man. Love y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. If y'all been listening this far. We got one more episode. We got one more episode before the end of the year wrap. But yeah, man, as always, we do not take y'all beautiful people for listening. Make sure you follow at ShineHeartIzzo, at I Am Sedacious, at Black.Peace. Make sure you follow me also at Emcstats, man. We're gonna give y'all a great show next week and finish out the year strong. Can't say it enough. Sorry if I sound like a broken record, man. We don't take y'all listening for granted. This is what you call a great episode, beautiful people. We will see you next week.